Welcome to Vegas, the city without clocks. In the casinos, anyway. Here at CSI, time is something we pay close attention to, because the early hours of a murder investigation are key. As our newest crime scene investigator, your credentials are strong, but the proof is in your performance.
Gil, we've got a situation over... Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Catherine Willows, let me introduce you to our newest CSI. Now, what have you got for us?
Art gallery owner by the Strip with an unexpected exhibit on his showroom floor. A dead body. Possible homicide.
Thanks, Kath. Okay, I'm partnering you with Warrick Brown on this case. He'll help show you the ropes. But your own CSI skills are what we're counting on to crack this case. Catherine, I have lab work to get back to. Would you supervise this case?
You got it, Gil.
And you should head to that art gallery, now. Oh, and remember, as G.K. Chesterton once said, the criminal is the creative artist, the detective only the critic.
Actually, you should be on this side. I should be on this side.
Yeah.
Or just move the seats.
Hey, I'm CSI Warrick Brown. I'm glad to have some help on this one. We got a dead Vic on the floor, and a live gallery owner waiting in the sidelines. Are you ready? Pay close attention. We're in the art world, and if you don't know how to look at something, you won't understand what it means.
I'm sorry, we went to Popeyes before we came to the crime scene. I hope you don't mind.
The Vic's face down. Spatter pattern on the wall close by indicates blunt force trauma. Take a photo of this. It's always good for future reference. You're going to need an angle that shows the Vic's position in relation to the spatter. I want you to note the blood spatter here. For a visual pattern like this, you'll want to use the digital camera. Then you can get the blood afterwards. Well, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, we got several thousand here telling us what went down. The Vic was hit at least twice. Pattern in her position relative to it tells us so. The first blow probably caused the puncture wound and sent her to the ground. The second blow, while she was down, created the blood spatter. Too pretty, too young, and way too dead. Pay close. No wallet, cash, or ID. Could this be a glorified mugging? The blood flowed from the head wound and naturally pooled around her. That suggests she bled to death right here. Whoa. With a rock like that left behind, I doubt we have a robbery. This was personal. That's no human hair. It's too thick. Some kind of animal, maybe. Hey, maybe we just got lucky. That blood print says somebody's shoe picked up transfer. $60 large for an earthbound bird? If art theft was the motivation, why not take the other two birds as well? Nice catch. Whoever bagged our bird may have left that print.
This is the Nathan Ackerman Fine Arts Studio, and I am Nathan Ackerman. The genius of my exhibitors, in a setting that is itself a work of art.
Do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Please do. Consider me your host and ally. Don't hesitate to ask if I can help you resolve this affair quickly and cleanly.
I'll see what we can do. But Mr. Ackerman, there's nothing clean about murder.
It doesn't matter what order you ask,
I was out briefly on an errand, and to my devastation, I discovered a client, Rachel Maddox, dead on my gallery floor. You must understand that this is a crushing blow. Rachel was an excellent client and a dear friend. I can't imagine who would do such a thing. Perhaps a vagrant or one of these psychopathic killers you read so much about? Oh, I can tell you it's a disaster. That's one of our most valuable pieces. Hawks are a specialty of Mr. Milton's, and that's a signature work. Any Milton collector would kill to... excuse me. That was an unfortunate burst of hyperbole. But I can say with no exaggeration at all that the perch predator is an expensive item indeed. And I'll be calling my insurance agent as soon as we're done here.
Do you have a photo of that missing statue?
Standard operating procedure in the art game. I'll be glad to get it for you, though I'd appreciate its eventual return. Insurance, you know. Rachel was about to be a bride. She had commissioned a painting and a sculpture, both of herself, for her wedding from one of my best artists. Unfortunately, he can also be one of my slowest artists, and Rachel and her fiancé were, well, let's say, fit to be tied that the art pieces, which were due some time ago, were not ready. I had an emergency overnight artwork delivery to ship. I needed to leave by 5 p.m., but Rachel was adamant we had to wait for the artist to come. I really shouldn't have left the two of them alone in the gallery, but they were respectable clients. Anyway, Rachel, refused to leave. She said she was staying put just in case. I believe her words were, irresponsible ass of an artist does me the supreme favor of showing up. So that's how I came to leave the two of them here, and I had intended to be back before we closed at 6. As it was 6:10 before I returned, and found the door wide open, and Rachel in this terrible posture. As for her fiancé, he was nowhere to be seen. This is the most ghastly thing that has ever happened at the Nathan Ackerman Fine Arts Studio. What kind of mad beast are we dealing with here? Her fiancé is one Mark Stock, a taciturn fellow with a physique worthy of a Greek sculpture and just about as talkative. Frankly, he has the personality of a doorstop and the artistic taste of a hillbilly. Forgive my candor.
Boom. Roasted.
The man does have his admirers. He's an ex-baseball player of some kind from the minor leagues, I believe. As I said, he was here with Rachel when I left, but when I returned, she was alone and dead. Yes, they were having an argument about the art, which was unusual as Mr. Stock had never expressed an opinion from the beginning. Now he was making a stand. He said it was foolish to make such a fuss, and the wedding could easily go on without these silly pieces. But Rachel wasn't having any of that. In Mr. Stock's words, he can sound rather shrill for such a strapping specimen of masculinity. He said Rachel had become unreasonable and out of control over the artist not showing up. And, well, honestly, he had a point. She did have that side to her. Understand, I was very fond of Rachel, but frankly, some of the invective she hurled was directed not just at her fiancé, but, if you can imagine, at me. Fortunately, a truce between the betrothed had come to pass before I had to leave. They were even, shall we say, affectionate. I felt comfortable enough leaving them alone. The storm had blown over, and they were like lovebirds again. To me, Mark Stock would be an enigma if he had a higher IQ. During their tiff, he seemed cold, emotionless. He's one of those passive-aggressive types who occasionally erupt, but in a strange, distant way, unleashing a torrent of abusive language, but delivering that invective in a controlled, cruel manner, seemingly devoid of any feeling.
I didn't understand a word you just said, sir.
They visit Vegas frequently, weekend getaways, on which they invariably stop by my gallery to do business. Rachel did so love art. What was the question? No, I have no address. They flew in for their wedding, and I have no idea at which hotel, though it will certainly be one of the pricier ones. Patrick Milton. Many of the works in the showroom are in fact his. He's not a critical darling, considered by some too commercial, but the public loves him, and as long as they do, so do I. That was the spark that lit the fuse of the argument between Rachel and Mark. The artist had vowed to be here with the finished painting and sculpture first thing this morning, but he didn't show up at all. Not the first time. And Rachel flew into a rage when he did not appear.
I mean, when you're dealing with the bridezilla.
Kind of don't want to deal with it. Don't want to show up if you're dealing with one.
Exactly. That's what happens to every
Heavens, our association goes back years, almost a decade. Quite frankly, he's the star here. I've displayed and sold hundreds of his works. I could have sold more, but he misses so many deadlines. No matter how hard I've tried to breed professionalism into his artist soul,
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
he failed. Still, he does sell.
Maybe he's not that type of artist.
Ridiculous as it might seem, no. I have never once, in all the years of our very successful association, even seen his studio. As I say, he's quirky. Private to the point of reclusiveness. Oh, but of course I have a phone number and a P.O. box. He wants his checks, after all.
That'll be enough to track him. Thanks, Mr. Ackerman.
Be my guest.
'Cause
My fingerprints are all over this gallery, both literally and figuratively. As I said, I intend to cooperate fully. My life is an open book. No, I'm sorry, no.
What happened to full cooperation? Your life an open book?
My life is an open book, that I pledge to you. But I can't allow this door to be opened. I may seem inconsistent, but there are many expensive, even priceless objects dark back there, and I cannot risk damage. Particularly when I see no relevance to your investigation, since it's been locked throughout this entire unfortunate affair. I'm sorry, unless you have a warrant, I just can't allow you to go flinging your fingerprint powder around and spritzing your various sprays.
you just sound very, very defensive.
I'm sorry, unless you have a warrant. I just can't allow you to go flinging your fingerprint powder around and spritzing your various sprays.
Alright, then no more questions, asshole. Yeah. And then you can go to the lab. And learn how to use all the computers. Yes! And then search. You have to click it, or drag it down. And that's not it, drag down the next one. Until you find the match. So just hit exit. You do shoe print because you have a document and photos. think it's the third one. So just drag it to the computer. Search.
Those two aren't quite a match. Try to be more sure before you ask me for confirmation. It's all about the details.
No, the third one was the closest, but apparently that's not it. As I'm saying, the third one was the closest, but he said it wasn't it. Alright, well, we're done with the shoe. Okay, so put down that fingerprint. Put down the other fingerprint. And the drag match possible.
The prints on the pedestal are Ackerman's. It's no surprise. It's his gallery. Of course, he's still a suspect.
But since now you have a red tag right there, it means that evidence is done with. So that's a different computer. So hit the right. It'll be that one. Yeah, good luck matching all that. That one's pretty close, but the second blue line is... Oh yeah, because that only has 3. Yeah. So if that rules that out, bring up one of these and put it up to the other one.
This verifies Ackerman stepped in the victim's blood.
Okay, so you still have one more. Just, yeah, toss it there. Because all the blood's going to be the same. So just confirm match.
Wall spatter matches the Vic's blood. It's a start. Links her to the crime scene.
So now that we got that out, we can go to the next computer over. Get the hair.
Now this should work in the comparison microscope.
And then all the way to the left. Comparison microscope. I don't know if it'll let us do anything because we only have one thing. Okay, it'll let us compare. Ugh. I was like, that looks disgusting. That's no, this hair ain't getting any better. Looks like a Slim Jim. Yeah, that looks close.
Squirrel hair. Commonly used to make paintbrushes. Maybe we should find our reclusive artist.
Alright, so now all of your trace evidence has a red sticker on it. Yeah, they did. Yeah, he said it matched. So now you can go to the morgue. Yeah, we can do it in an hour. It's fine.
Sure, I'll send a team right out. Blunt force trauma, back of the head. Wound's interesting, an irregular shape, somewhat triangular. It's the murder weapon's signature. Here's something you might find interesting. A small piece of foreign fibrous material. Definitely not skull.
Most likely.
The fragment I found appears similar in color to the photograph, so the bird's bill might be consistent with the wound. But without the real thing, it's just a guess. Well, based on the victim's liver temperature, dead less than 2 hours, Under ideal conditions, the body cools 2 degrees the first hour, then 1 degree after that. So we can put it around 5:30 p.m. Way ahead of you. Taking fingerprints off a victim's body is part of my routine. Here you are. Toxicology tests show high concentrations of diazepam, a benzodiazepine commonly prescribed for anxiety disorders. Well, it's not entirely unusual, but your prospective bride already had a honeymoon. Semen in the vaginal canal. No forced entry, presumably consensual sex. I've got a sample for you. I've got nothing new to report on the Vic.
Okay, you may be done. So go to Brass and see if we could give him the phone number. Oh, we could just talk to him.
So you think that hawk sculpture might be the murder weapon, huh? I'll get my boys to start searching for it immediately. Check back later. Well, I can have a unit hit the hotels with cold calls. It'll take a while, but as long as our lovebirds were registered under their real names, we'll find them. Our friendly neighborhood art dealer opened the gallery 12 years ago, and his record's clean. I found some online reviews saying Ackerman is an overcharging, tasteless fraud. But hey, that's no crime. Even a self-proclaimed genius like Patrick Milton can't escape the electric company. And we got his address from their bill. Here you go.
See if there's one more thing we could ask.
Once you got enough evidence,
Okay.
I'll hit up a judge.
So we can go... We're done with the crime scene because there's a red sticker on it. Yeah, we already got it. So we can go to the artist studio. Well, that's from the show.
I know. That's what I was like. So I've never actually played any of these.
Clint Eastwood. Hello. Santa?
And if I am?
Las Vegas Crime Lab. Murder investigation. Are you Patrick Milton?
Yes, all right, yes. I'm Patrick Milton, but I don't know anything about a murder, you say?
Yes, sir. We have a few questions. You mind?
You better make yourself clear about how this supposedly involves me, because I'm on a deadline. I'm an artist on commission here, and I have a thing to finish, and I'm trying to grab a window of solitude while these damn construction workers are on break, whatever they're doing. My God, the noise lately here. What? Which commissioner? You don't mean Rachel? You don't mean Rachel Maddox, do you? It's not possible. There's no one on the planet more alive than Rachel. How did it happen?
Blunt force trauma, Mr. Milton. The murder weapon may have been a statue. Possibly one of yours. The perched predator is missing from the gallery.
My lord, no. The hours, the months that went into that? Was it stolen? Please tell me it wasn't destroyed. It's one of my most valuable works. Well, right here, of course. I mean, I practically live in this studio. The demands on me as an artist are unceasing. Haven't you talked to my patron, the esteemed Nathan Ackerman? He called me and told me a new one, and I decided the best thing to do was to stay home and get this painting and sculpture completed before Rachel's wedding day. I've been bunkered in here slaving ever since. My intention was to deliver everything tomorrow, right before the wedding. I couldn't see wasting time dealing with Rachel. There was a lot to admire about her spirit, her intelligence, but she was frankly the worst-tempered woman I ever met. The most difficult client I ever encountered. I figured the less contact with her, the better. That's it, and it's going well. I'm almost done with it, but I guess there isn't any hurry now. Pity. Despite her ugly side, Rachel was a beautiful woman and a worthwhile subject. Actually, yes, the Maddox Stocks wedding commission is only part of what I have on my plate. And I've been battling headaches and back problems, what with all this horrendous construction racket going on, starting at 7 a.m., including weekends. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to concentrate? Well, it began cordially enough. She was a big admirer of my work, owned a number of my bird and animal sculptures. She approached me to do these special paintings to be displayed at her wedding reception. And I told her I rarely did the human form. I'm a nature artist, you see, and I have a knack for just slightly idealizing reality. Well, she did have her charming side, you know, and she said, well, I'm one of nature's best works of art. Are you up to capturing me? How could I turn her down? And the money wasn't bad either. And as I say, I would have delivered the painting and sculpture on time. Nick of time, but on time. Right at the reception ballroom. I'm almost done now.
Did you contact Rachel or Ackerman to tell them about this change of plans?
No. And before you condemn me as rude and egocentric, let me just say, you never had a deal with Rachel Maddox. You have no idea the hoops she made me jump through. Sounds unkind now that she's dead, but really, I wanted to keep her waiting. Let her, no other way of saying this, suffer a little, like I had. Let her squirm and stew. But my lord, I would never wish anything like this upon her. In a word, rocky. She was a lovely girl, but rich and spoiled. At the beginning, she posed live for me. She was so demanding. Kept leaving her modeling pedestal to see what I was doing. Literally look over my shoulder. Oh hell, that was just maddening. Finally, I just banished her from my studio. I'd already taken photographs of her, in the desired pose, and these were sufficient reference. And photos don't talk back, nag, or interfere with the artistic process in any way.
Oh.
Well, from my point of view, it was entirely unprofessional and even hostile. I deserve better from someone I worked with for so long. You have no concept how much money I've made for Nathan Ackerman. But at least I didn't get caught up in a screaming match. I let the answering machine get it. He wanted me to drop everything and get over to the gallery. It was pretty clear from how frazzled he sounded. He had his own generous serving of Rachel Maddox at her worst.
So you're telling me you didn't drop by to set Ackerman and your client straight?
Hell no. Nathan I could handle. But as overworked as I am, dealing directly with Rachel Maddox, I didn't need that grief. Well, frankly, my intention was to avoid seeing her at all. She'd be at the wedding, and I'd be at the reception ballroom dropping off the art. Call me a coward, but you people never saw Rachel in full flaming bitch mode. I guess you can take it. I usually use red sable, but I probably have a few squirrel brushes, yeah.
The victim's clothing revealed a paintbrush hair.
And you consider that unusual in an art gallery? You have any idea how many artists work in this town? Hundreds. And you'll find thousands of squirrel hair brushes. Good luck to you. Look, I'll cooperate. I know you have a job to do. But understand that I have a job to do myself. Take what you want. And then please, leave me to my work to myself. Art doesn't happen. It's a struggle, and I need my solitude. And it may seem callous, but I consider finishing my artwork a higher priority than finding whoever killed Rachel Maddox. Dig into her life, and you'll find as many people not sorry to see her dead as you will squirrel hair brushes. I live and work alone. But you already know I had no reason to leave until this artwork was finished. Haven't you been listening?
No, not really. Let us in. Go to the paintbrushes. Items. Click on the paintbrush. You could search around on that. Right there where the go. There you go.
I don't have anything else to say to you people.
Oh, is it DNA that you picked up, or is it something else? Okay, so it says paint stain. That means you can go to the third computer. Search.
This paint is not common. It's probably a mix of multiple paints, which is why the database can't find a match.
Okay, so you're done with that evidence. I think that's the same one. So the second to last one.
Why don't you try the
that's
DNA?
analysis. That's the semen. So right click. So DNA, and then just drag it over. Search. Yay, more color comparisons. On to B. Almost. Not quite. It might be.
So, Rachel and her fiancé did kiss and make up tonight. Evidence of sperm shows Mark scored a home run. But look at this. He's got a record with a history of violence. So let's get brass on this bad boy.
Where do you come up with these one-liners? So we should be good on that. We have the artist's fingerprints, but that's in another computer. Oh, victim's fingerprints. That's fine, because we just got a red sticker for it. Okay, so you can back out of this one. And then bring the... Go to audio visual. And drag... No, you had it. The cassette tape. And then play.
Message received, 3:30 p.m. Patrick, are you there? I know you're there. Pick up. Sorry, Patrick. This unprofessionalism has to cease. Get on here with that painting and statue ASAP. And if they're not done, you come here with Rachel Maddox. She's climbing the walls, not to mention my ass. Take half an hour and put some finishing touches on and bring that blasted out. We need her final payment today to cover up well, damage. Just get down here. This week she's finding new depths of unpleasantness and we have to calm her down somehow. And Patrick, if you're not here within the hour, my next call will be to my attorney to instruct him to sue you egotistically irresponsible ass. Understood?
Wow. Doesn't sound much like the host and ally we know. Sounds like Ackerman was on the edge.
What are the other two down there? And I just toss it up to the thing, see if you get a red sticker on it.
We've done all we can with that item. We'll need to check with Brass about this first.
Compare. No, you already did that one. It already has a red sticker on it. Yeah. Go to the comparison microscope. Do the hair, the one hair paintbrush hair that you have. And then go to items. Do the paintbrush.
There's more to be done with that item before we can process it.
So you'd have to go to the next table over for that. We'd have to get a compare. Oh, we'll just bring it up, see if it does a red mark.
We've done all.
Okay. So there might be something else on this item. Oh, there you go. Check your item, see if it has a little tag on it. I know here. And then the other one.
So we got common variety squirrel paintbrush fibers. The two samples are consistent with each other, but not enough for a positive identification.
But you're done with those. So last we can, I don't know what's left on that. I don't have any memory of anything more. So now you can go to Brass and talk to him.
We've tracked every hotel and resort in Vegas. No small task. But we've got them registered at the Romanov, which is also where their wedding and reception was scheduled. Mark Stock's here to identify his fiance's body. He says he's eager to help. So let's give him the chance.
Interrogation?
We know this is difficult, Mr. Stock. You have our condolences.
You don't have to pretend to feel anything. You didn't know Rachel. Who did this to her?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out, sir. Best we can tell, you were the last person to see her alive.
That's not true.
Then who was, Mr. Stock?
Her killer, of course. Look, I was only with Rachel another maybe 15 minutes after Ackerman went off to mail a package or something. I had a previous engagement.
And what was that?
My bachelor party at Orgasma.
You mean the strip joint?
Yeah. You think a bachelor party's going down at a library or maybe a church basement?
Yes.
A guy I used to play ball with recommended him to me. Some favor. As far as I'm concerned, Ackerman's a pretentious sleazeball. His word's as good as the paper it isn't written on, if you get me. And this crap with him and this clown Milton. I don't remember when I was ever so frustrated. Listen, I loved Rachel. I worshipped that woman. But she had a temper like a rabid monkey. And when Ackerman and Milton started jerking us around over that work, man, Rachel went off like a bomb. When that girl got mad,
Can't get over his shoulders.
she'd get in your face and your eyeballs and teeth would melt. She wanted her natural beauty preserved forever, displayed at the reception so her family and friends and the whole damn world could see her towering majesty.
You sound like you love her a lot.
She insisted that damn artist would show up, and the owner was off on his errand. He left the keys with us in case he wasn't back by 6 so we could lock up for him.
He gave you the keys to the gallery?
Yeah, Rachel and me were supposed to lock up at 6. Ackerman headed out with his package, we had our little fling in back, and then, well, I had a bachelor party to go to. I was a cocky kid, a college star who wound up in the minor leagues. I was too damn dumb to know I should just pay my dues like everybody else, and I made a lot of enemies, throwing my weight and my temper around. And I paid the price for it. That incident got me blacklisted from the league and ended any hope of a major league career. And it was my own damn fault, okay? And since then, hey, man, you're looking at a pacifist.
But maybe you had a relapse, snapped under all this wedding pressure.
After that bust, I started seeing a court-appointed shrink, and I am Mr. Chill now. Nothing gets to me, not even Rachel's temper. I look back on how I used to be, and man, I was not cool. I was a world-class ass. That's not me anymore. I loved Rach, and her family was gonna set me up in a sporting goods shop that would have given me a whole new lease on life. You think I would have flushed that down the John like I did my baseball career over an argument about some damn artwork? No way, man. No way. I didn't kill her. I loved her. But there is one situation where I might lose it again. Might have, what'd you say? A relapse.
How's that?
When you catch this bastard, if I get my hands on him, no guarantees, man. No guarantees. Of course. We're on the same team, guys. Find who did this. Find him. Oh, you know, just had our fun with some cheap champagne. I was supposed to meet the guys downtown at 6 before we headed for Orgasma and the Bash, so hell, must have been, what, 5:15? And I had to put pedal to the metal to make it on time, even so.
Did you get anything? Oh, go to the hotel room. That's my jam.
It's a nice pad. It's not what I expected, though. This girl spends thousands on artwork for the wedding, but she opts for the junior suite? People and their priorities. Brass can track down this number for us.
On the bed. What do you mean that wasn't there?
It wasn't there.
What do you mean? It was there.
Try something else, similar.
Well, it tells you what it does at the bottom when you put your mouse on it.
Like you have the picture.
Babe.
What? You can't tell me that. You weren't doing it either.
I was reading at the bottom the first time I played.
That was the first time. After that, you didn't.
Okay, now you're good.
Wow, the European honeymoon of a lifetime. Not anymore.
I'll take the ticket. I think he just says that. Pape.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
Artist inspired by a tree stump. You're really running out of ideas to be inspired if you get inspired by a tree
A
stump.
good idea to be thorough. That artwork was definitely due the day of the murder.
Okay, fully done with this location. So now we can go back to the art studio. Because both locations already have a red sticker on them.
I don't have anything else to say to you people.
Alright, then we can go to the lab and figure out what we want. Well, actually, question this guy again. See if he says something. There we go.
Goodness, I don't know. Perhaps I stepped in it when I found her. I'm sure that must be it. I just don't remember that clearly. It's all a jumble.
It's all a jumble.
No, I'm
Damn
sorry.
accent.
Not unless you have a warrant. Why wouldn't it be? I'm a hands-on gallery owner. And as it happens, I showed that very piece earlier today to a prospective buyer. Wasn't anyone else's fingerprint on there?
No, just you, Mr. Ackerman. But that doesn't prove you took your own statue. Just that you touched that pedestal.
I wouldn't call it a threat. Patrick was well aware we had a client who was high-strung, and that if that artwork was late, there would be hell to pay. Well, why should I pay it?
Because you're the gallery owner.
I mean, technically, yeah, you are the gallery owner, so you're mostly responsible for it if it's not there.
You know that any business suffers occasional cash flow problems, but really, mentioning I might sue him was my way of lighting a fire under Patrick. He is a fussy perfectionist, and I know he could finish up that painting and even the sculpture by deadline if he just got on with it. Yes. Why? Is that a problem?
Why did you leave this out of the report?
Oh, well, frankly, I forgot all about that.
How do you
There
forget
were
that
no
you left?
keys on her body.
Well, I took them, actually. They were my property, after all, and I didn't see how they could be important. Nothing sinister about it, just an oversight, my failing to mention it. Surely you can understand I'm a bit flustered after all of this. Yes, I'm sorry, of course.
Yeah, raise it up a bit. Not too far. Just there you go. And you just keep doing it till it stops you. Yeah.
Rachel's blood on the keys means they were near her when she was attacked. Could the killer have used them too?
Maybe.
I can't think of anything pertinent that I haven't already shared.
Okay, so we can go to the lab, get new information from what we just collected. Well, what are you trying to look up? No blood from the shirt, then DNA. Now, to make it easier, compare it to any DNA that you see. The next arrow.
Rachel's blood is on these keys. Ackerman must have taken them from the crime scene. But was it during or after the crime?
A warrant available. So, yeah, just
There's more to be done with that item before we can process it.
Okay, cool. So all we have left is to look more at the keys.
We'll need to check with Brass about this first.
And then we did all the trace. So let's look at the keys. So back out twice, and then pull the keys up. So just click on it, and see if there's anything you can get off the keys. So now we can go to the fingerprint analysis and figure out whose fingerprint it is. By probably comparing it to some fingerprints we already have. To make it easier. So the victim's fingerprint is next. Okay.
This key has Rachel's print on it, so it's possible she opened that locked office before she died. I wonder if our Hawk statue took flight back there.
Okay, so I don't think we have any more evidence. Go to the items, just hit items, and bring it up.
We've done all we can with that item.
Okay, so we could talk to Brass.
That phone number was to a ticket theater broker. A clerk there remembers Rachel arguing with her about ticket prices. Okay. Looks like our Vic may have had access to the back office, and it's possible we may find our murder weapon back there. That's enough to get a search warrant.
Even though the art gallery is still kind of grayed out, that means we haven't finished with that spot. But it's good to still do this first. America. Oh, well, these are hawks. These aren't eagles. Never mind. Almost America. Viva la French fries. Even though those are American. As we eat Cajun French fries. Visa? I use MasterCard. No.
You know, these scissors look nice and sharp, but not heavy enough to cause that spatter pattern.
Yeah, it'll keep telling you to come back to the scissors. There's literally nothing there. I'll just give you that hint.
I remember you playing this before. There's something.
Oh, there's a few things in this room.
It's possible our blunt force bird didn't fly far from the coop after all. Let's see what Robbins has to say about this.
I think this one's fine.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
Good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there. Stabs painting. Now there is. Keep moving to the left.
The safe is locked. Since it's too small to hold a murder weapon, our search warrant doesn't let us unlock it. We'll need a different warrant to get in here.
Okay. Keep going.
A paper shredder. Look like he's got a fresh crop.
Yep. Time to put it together at the lab. Actually, go back to the safe, too. I don't remember if there was anything left or anything on the safe. Like in the fingerprints or something. No. Okay. I think there might be 2 more things in this office. It's a good idea to be thorough, but nothing.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
He said it so many times, and I'm like, did I say it right? Why do you have an empty crate in your office? And keep going right. Okay, nothing. I always thought that was a thing, because I'm like, it looks dented and broken.
Right, but that's from the bird.
And what is they?
You'll want a different tool for that. Something tells me this isn't baby powder. Let's run a narcotics test on it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
Bro, he's a ventriloquist. He wasn't even moving his mouth when he said that.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
Take a shot every time you see a bird on screen. I'm not responsible for any sickness that you end up having for doing this challenge. Yeah, it's gonna lead you to the box. Look at his desk. Look at the desk again. Yes, but you see, there's semen found on the desk. That was very inconsiderate.
Yeah.
It's like saying, fuck this guy, I'm gonna come on his desk.
I mean...
As if they took... It's either shitting on someone's desk or coming on someone's desk. I think we might be done. Because we do have to come back and open that safe later on. So, when you're ready, you can leave and see if you can talk to that idiot curator. Again. Or not curator, artist, sorry. They're both idiots.
Suppose there's no way of avoiding this. Why I should want to protect that son of a bitch Ackerman, I'll never know. Call it misguided loyalty, but anyway, financial problems is an understatement. He owes me thousands, and over these past 6 months or so, he's come up with some, shall we say, unconventional ways of reimbursing me when cash wasn't handy. Well, he offered me his second car, a big screen television from his former rec room, any number of nice, but honestly secondhand items. I took a few of these offers just to help out, but Nathan's still into me for, well, let's just say the notion of him suing me is amusing. I know he often accepts cash payments from clients, for reasons you could probably guess, detectives that you are. If not, ask the IRS. Sometimes he's had enough cash in that safe of his to paper those gallery walls.
What safe are you talking about?
Oh, it's in his back office / stock room. Keeps documents, sales records, and so on in there, I believe.
Well, with cash in that safe, maybe you broke in to claim it was yours, and Rachel Maddox just happened to be there, after hours. The very person you wanted to avoid.
Ridiculous! That's slander!
So sue me.
I see what you did there, you clever man, you.
I don't have anything else to say to you people.
Alright, so before we talk to the curator, let's deal with the evidence that we have in the lab. And then we can talk to Brass and talk to the victim's fiancé again.
Why don't we see what Doc Robbins has to say about this first? We can work with that on the assembly table.
Oh, that's your...
Oh yeah, that's the show the paper.
Yeah, and then there's your testimony, so you know. Just right click. Trey, so we have DNA.
Why don't you try the DNA analyzer?
And then that one goes on the other, on the further computer. So test that semen with the other semen that you may have. Oh, there you go, that was it. Semen from the body. One more.
Well, it looks like the prospective bride and groom had their prelim honeymoon on this desk.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say something else that we talked about, but never mind.
Would you like to say it on the microphone?
I don't know.
Probably not. Okay, so take the last thing you have to the other computer.
You're the one who offered me to say that.
Anyway.
Uh-huh.
That
one. Methamphetamine powder, aka speed, crank, chalk, or rose by any other name. Meth interferes with the brain's neurotransmitters. It affects the brain and spinal cord. They used to use it for diet pills and nasal decongestants, but today it puts the wreck in recreational drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Don't do drugs, kids. Okay, so we can go to Doc. No, wait. We get back out. And put your paper together. Alrighty.
Of course you would.
It looked really close, it did.
It looked close on the stream, that's why I was like, this shouldn't be that.
A few moments later.
Put that one in the middle.
One eternity later.
Well, it looks like a signature though.
Yeah.
At the bottom, so I'd leave it somewhere right there. There you go. Just raise all that up.
So, the cooperative Mr. Ackerman is holding out again.
No.
He'd been hit by a nasty lawsuit by the Vic. Maybe he pretended to mail his package, but instead waited for Mark to leave and went back into serve as his client, stepping in the blood when he took his keys back.
Yeah, so he pretty much killed it.
Okay, so let's go to Doc. To the morgue.
At first I thought it might, but the Eagle's bill is much larger than whatever caused the actual puncture wound. This is definitely not the murder weapon.
Okay, so now we can go to Brass.
We have a hostile person who claims he wasn't there, but he has the Vic's blood on him. Let's talk.
Oh, we're doing it immediately, okay.
I had her blood on my clothes plenty of times. Rachel had rhinoplasty a few years ago. Since then, she's had trouble with nosebleeds. She had one just before we went to the gallery. I noticed it. I changed my shirt before we left. All right. After our cool down in the back room, we got into another argument. She started all romantic and sweet, then surprised me with these theater tickets to the most expensive show in town, that Canadian chick who sings real high and all. But I told Rach I couldn't blow off my buddies who've been planning this big bachelor party for me. She was so pissed. What do you want to see naked women for when you have me? I said, Rach, it's not a sex thing. It's a guy thing. I got to spend my last night of freedom with them. That set her off again, but I wasn't having any. I just stormed out of there.
Stormed out? Oh, I thought you kept your cool these days.
I did keep my cool. That's how I kept it, by just walking away. What I hate is that it ended like that we parted on that nasty note.
Stormed out? Oh, I thought you kept your cool these days.
That was very dramatic for her.
Yeah, everyone wants to spend their last day of freedom.
Bro, I'll just be
Sure,
playing video games.
sort of. I was on the highway, busting ass, getting to my pals waiting for me downtown. So, I can't prove it, but they'll verify when I showed up. How did you know that?
We found evidence of your semen inside of her.
Oh.
And on the desk.
Rachel had a predictable habit. Whenever she got really mad, she wanted to work it off. The fact that Ackerman left us alone, it just made things happen faster. It was the one thing that made her temper bearable. The makeup sex.
Mr. Stock, for a guy who suffered a blow like this, frankly, you seem kind of, clinical about your late fiancé.
I'll do my grieving my own way, pal. But I'm sure you'll find out about this anyway. I was on the verge of calling it off. The whole shooting match. Relationship, wedding, whole deal. Great sex is not enough for all this stress. Rachel was turning into an out-of-control, unreasonable nutcase of self-involved vanity. But I still loved her. No, I don't do that crap. Neither did Rachel. She had a lot of vices, but not that junk.
Now, as I was saying, drugs are bad. You shouldn't do drugs. If you do them, you're bad.
Okay.
Go back to press. You still have to get one more warrant. And
You're in luck. One of our Hawkeye detectives found your turkey in a dumpster by the gallery. It's got a broken beak and a few other surprises. Give it a close look.
What just happened?
I have no idea.
Hey, Warrick, I could use an update on the art gallery homicide.
Sure. First,
Hello there.
CSI is all over this thing. We've already got time of death and the murder weapon.
Not bad for your first night.
How you doing? Let's not break our hand patting our back. We got miles to go before we sleep. Plenty of leads, but no firm suspects. Any ideas, Kat?
Sometimes the evidence we collect has more evidence on it. I suggest you give all your evidence another hard look. Murder weapon, especially. May find something key toward completing your trinity.
Okay, rookie. You heard the boss. Let's go back to square one with fresh eyes.
We can't go back to square one because all of it says that it's done because we have the little red sticker on them.
There's more to be done with that item before we can process it.
Okay, so we have to actually look at it. Just click on it. I don't know the actual item.
Who's to say where the substance came from, since our murder weapon was found in that damn dumpster? Collected, though. You never know. Till you know.
Let's see if it was done. Oh, no, it's in items. Try to look at the beak, the head of the turkey. Yeah, that's another thing. There you go. swap it.
So, the perched predator had a feast for his last supper. Let's test the blood to see what type of mammal was on the menu.
Okay, so we need no. Blood analysis. And then the other one you could do for this one. The first thing you collected, blue stain.
Bingo. That custom paint from Patrick's brushes matches the paint on the murder weapon.
Then back. No, you already did that. No, that's blood. That goes to the other one. That one right there. Yeah, I mean you can still. That's fine.
Well, the blood on the beak is Rachel's, and the beak fits the wound, so we have our murder weapon. But who killed her?
Yeah.
Okay. Seeking evidence of the gallery owner's financial woes, which makes a good motive for murder. I know a judge I can call to open that safe.
Yeah, keep talking.
You've got some good evidence on Patrick. I can call a judge and get a search warrant to cover anything with paint on it. Is that wide enough of a brush for you?
No, because you're just questioning him. Okay, see if we can go back to the crime scene and see if he has any more things you can talk to him about.
I can't think of anything pertinent that I haven't already shared.
Okay, go to his back office then. It's in the location. Now, since we're already here, and we can go to the safe. It's already open.
Bank records. If Ackerman's got money trouble, they should tell us.
There's something delicious.
What's this? Another controlled substance? Look, I'm no longer a betting man, but if I was...
Those look like teeth.
I'd say they look like fake nails to me, but...
That too.
Alright, so we're done with this because we only have to come in for his... safe. So if we can talk to him again, see if he finally opens up about something. So we can go back to the crime scene.
I can't think of anything pertinent that I haven't already shared.
I haven't already shared. Alright, so we can go to the artist studio and look around his place of establishment.
That's outrageous. There's nothing here that has anything to do with your stupid investigation. You're violating my sanctuary.
Well, you're violating this warrant. Move.
I don't like your beard or hair, Santa, so get out of the way. I mean, yeah, kinda. Just leave us outside.
So this is the famous painting in progress.
She looks like a bird. Grab the painting.
Yeah, we'll take the painting off your hands for you. Don't worry about it. See if there's more stuff you can do.
You'll want a different tool for that. Blue paint. But is it the blue paint?
Yeah.
Just yes.
Now here's the statue our artist friend was finishing up the night before the wedding. The Vic had an ego, all right. I don't see any paint on her, though.
There's like paint all right there.
I know. What do you mean you don't see anything?
See if you can move around it.
Oh. Like, eh. Oh. That's stupid. It's like right there, though.
I keep turning.
Drugs.
A suspicious bag of powder. Now this paints a whole new picture, doesn't it?
It's just my powdered sugar. I keep it in this drawer. I think you're done here. And then keep moving around. Oh. It's good to be thorough.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
Almost. I almost got it.
Almost.
Up, up, up. There you go. Sexy neon dice.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
There is something there, though. I remember there is something there.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
Turn the camera as far as you can. Then the other way. I know there's something up here. I remember getting at least one or two things up here. Get back out of the bed. There you go.
Killer tickets for the hottest show in town, night of the murder. Boy, you're lucky when you land these. Someday our prince will come, and this is it. Let's get this over to the lab.
They make it sound so dramatic.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
Is that the TV he's talking about that he got paid with? Bruh. I think you didn't get paid very much. I think that might be it. I think that's all that's up here. There's a body in the closet. Yeah, we got the red sticker, which means we collected everything. Yeah, fingerprint analysis.
The print matches Rachel. Patrick Milton, having them in his possession ties him directly to her.
Okay, well you still have that substance you took off of the picture frame and all those other powdered objects to do to the trace analysis. No. That's DNA. Yes.
Well. These samples are the same stash as the other stuff we found.
Drugs.
Maybe art isn't all in Mr. Ackerman's deal.
How's it going?
God damn it.
Close, Kath. Real close. Rookie's
We're
done
busy.
good
Come
so
back when
far.
we're done.
We just found more meth at the gallery.
That doesn't fit what Doc Robbins says about the Vic's tox screen. Negative on meth in her system. So it wasn't meth-infused rage, no matter what you found.
Good to know. Okay, Rook. Let's see how somebody just saying yes to drugs figures in.
Fuck off!
Right, keep going.
We've done all we can with that
That's
item.
just the picture. Keep going to the right. There you go.
This matches the same batch of meth from Ackerman. So it appears they have a distinct relationship. And it's not legal.
And then we have Trace. All the way to the right. You have that one in the middle. Yeah.
Paint from the art studio matches the murder weapon. Maybe Patrick tried to deliver that painting after all. He grabbed his own artwork and swung it hard.
Santa. Alright, so now we have to... You can bring those up, see if they get a red sticker.
We've done all we can with that item.
Or a red tag, sorry, that's what they're called.
That should go on the trace analysis computer.
Isn't that what we just put it? Oh, that's chemical analysis. First computer. That one.
Our gallery guy's busted flatter than a stretched canvas.
Does that mean he's broke? Okay, so we could either go talk to the Frenchie, the artist, or immediately go talk to Brass and get warrants for these people.
He's on his way to interrogation now.
Wait. All right, Frenchie,
The
what's
Nathan
up?
Ackerman Fine Art Studio has thrived over the past 12 years I've been in business, and we've never been more vital. I'm even expanding my staff. The suggestion that we are anything other than financially sound is an insult.
Well, let me add some injury to that insult. This shredded document says Rachel Maddox was suing you for a breach of contract.
Perhaps I should have mentioned that. But really, such minor disagreements are common in a business of this nature. All I can think of is that many of my clients are wealthy, and I'm dealing with artists constantly, and those are two classes of people who are known to use recreational drugs. Someone apparently used them in my back office without my knowledge.
Even though you keep it locked?
That was like, even though it was in your safe?
Well, if that's the case, it's a violation of my trust. I'd be lying if I said that those two weren't capable of such tasteless shenanigans, but it obviously didn't take place in my presence.
No, just in your gallery, in your back office. Is there anything else you neglected to mention?
Insults upon insult. I cooperate fully, and this is what I get.
We have to get a warrant to go to your back
But
room.
it might be possible that Rachel and Mark brought that meth into my space. After all, if they were capable of semi-public fornication, what weren't they capable of?
Good point. Only we found drugs in your safe.
Maybe they found some way to get past the lock and planted those drugs in there to cause me difficulties. Rachel was suing me after all.
I'm afraid not. Toxicology on Rachel came up negative for meth.
No, I'm getting back on my feet. It's a phase in the life of a successful business. Yes, I've stared bankruptcy in its foul face, but not because of any malfeasance or incompetence on my part. It's the unreliable likes of these artists, and Patrick Milton is the poster child of these irresponsible flicks. And since I am indeed filing Chapter 11, the threat of a lawsuit means nothing.
Maybe so, but that stash of meth means something. Like you're dealing, maybe?
I keep hearing you want to cooperate, Mr. Ackerman. That works better without lies.
I do not deal in drugs. That was a misguided effort on my part to buy a commodity that I could turn around and give to Patrick Milton in exchange for some of what I owed him. And make a sort of profit doing it.
That's called dealing.
I had to keep him happy, because the money Rachel Maddox would pay for the wedding artwork would have gone a long way toward getting me out of this financial hole. Is that forthright enough for you?
But you didn't get art from Patrick, or money from Rachel. So you struck back at the both of them and grabbed that statue, killing 2 stones with 1 bird.
I killed no one. I mailed a package.
If you did, it wasn't at your regular shipping service, because nobody there remembers seeing you. We've even checked their surveillance tapes, and you aren't starring in them. You don't even make a cameo appearance.
I do have an alibi. I really do. But it's rather embarrassing. You see, I was with my dreadful term, bookie. Here I am, a long-time Vegas resident, and I make the same mistake as the stupid tourist. I try to get ahead by betting. And what money I did have, I lost. As you probably already know, I am financially ruined, finished. But I've said I'd cooperate, and I will. Here's the number to call to confirm.
Let's see if it flips the other way. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it just doesn't go all the way. Well, maybe.
Faster would be nice.
I told you, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's not. And nothing ends up being on it. Great. Alright, we're done.
I can't think of anything pertinent that I haven't already shared.
Okay, so we gotta go back to Brass. Tell him to get another warrant. Yeah, or check the
Ackerman's alibi checks. He was with his bookie, all right. But we got him on ice for holding and possibly dealing. You could serve about 12 warrants on this bozo. He's coming down to the station now. And if he can talk his way out of this, he's a real artist.
A con artist. Ba-doom-tsh. Anyway.
You know no such thing. She was a client, and a rich one. She was a pain in the ass, sure, but I wouldn't kill the goose providing the golden eggs. Do I look that stupid?
The evidence says you do.
Just yes.
So I think you went down there to deliver the unfinished painting. Maybe you tried to pass it off as an artistic statement, but Rachel was having none of it. You see, the meth increased your normal rage, so you grabbed the nearest heavy object, ironically signing the murder with your own work. But the painting is oil-based, and it transferred blue paint to the hawk. So you ditched the hawk in a dumpster, but you kept the damaged painting, so it could support your story that you were still working while Rachel was being killed.
Or while she was dying.
Or while she was dying and or dead.
And as for the wallet, you grabbed the cash and you dumped it. The tickets, I'm sure, were hidden in the cash, and when you noticed them, you tore them up. But you had no idea Rachel's fingerprints remained.
Do you have any idea, any notion at all of what it's like to be an artist? A true artist, and have to put up with the capitalistic needs of that pompous ass Ackerman reading me the riot act over the phone, that fool. He was the one who made me mad, really. Truly got my negative energies flowing. But when I came around
negative
to deliver that
energies
damn painting,
flowing.
who was waiting? All by yourself. The lovely subject of my painting. And the painting, you've seen it yourself. It's a masterpiece. It can still use some finishing touches.
Only you gave the model, not the painting, the finishing touches, didn't you, Patrick?
The woman was a 14-karat bitch. She had the nerve to attack my painting, to criticize me. Face too bright, hair too dark, dress draped improperly, proportions all wrong. God, if I only had the courage to depict the inner her, the demon behind that beautiful face. She's lucky I didn't. She's lucky.
Well, she's also dead. She was your boss, Patrick. Night before her wedding, she had to chase you around for the artwork she commissioned. Ever think maybe she had a point?
Easy for you. Easy for you. You weren't there. You weren't the brunt of her verbal blows.
Yeah, but she was the brunt of your literal blows.
Fine. I did it. I rid the world of a monster, a shrill, unrelenting witch. I did her the favor of making her beauty live forever through my art, and the world a favor by ridding it of her inner ugliness. Satisfied? And now I'm tired. I need rest. I need peace. Some quiet. Time to contemplate and time alone to create my art. Thank you.
Well, you'll have plenty of time alone from here on out.
That was a fine first lesson in the art of crime scene investigation. Without the evidence you and Warrick uncovered, that was a masterpiece of murder that might have gone unsolved. Good job. Before we get back out into the field, let me review your case and give you your evaluation.
You investigated every possible angle on this case. Doesn't happen often, but I'm very impressed.
Oh, you're still rank master? Or I guess I'm still rank master. I just helped you out through it. So how'd you like it? Would you ever do it again?
Sure, which is not this case.
Yeah, see, that's why I really fucking hated this case. And for the first one to be that way. You can still click on it. No, it's not gonna start it. I don't think it will. Okay. Yeah, so there you go, people. There's the first case that I did before I started streaming this game. But I forced Kim to do it because I wanted to see her struggle a little bit. I might give her this game to have her do all of the cases. If she has enough patience for it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining us here on this lovely, lovely clusterfuck of a murder mystery. And I will see all y'all the next time I stream, which Lord knows when that'll be, because I have no idea when y'all are going to be watching this. So have a good morning, have a good night, have a good afternoon. If today's your birthday, happy birthday. If yesterday was your birthday, happy belated birthday. And I will see all of y'all next time. Don't worry, I got this. I figured this out. Kind of. Don't leave me yet.